Shorty said you a sucker, and she don't like the way you fuck her. And boy, I know I'm kinda chubby.
Alright guys, what's happening? The first thing we're gonna do today for our jerk chicken dish is we're going to cut up all the vegetables. We're gonna get our seasonings blended and turn them into a paste with some, some oil and some little bit of soy sauce. And then once we have all that done, we'll work on the chicken.
Shorty said you a sucker.
First, out of all your vegetables you're gonna cut, you should cut your onion first. Leave your pepper last because this is very hot. It might interfere with the other ingredients and all that. So make sure you leave this last. And also make sure, if you can, have gloves on when cutting this, because sometimes the pepper stains your fingers and it's on there for a while. But just for your onion, you're gonna cut down and turn and give it a nice chop. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is all gonna get turned into a paste anyway. You just want them smaller so it's easier for the equipment to do its work. You want to grab your scallion, and like I said before, one of my other episodes, if it's wilted, don't worry about it. You just want to take them all, cut off these back roots yet again. Just the tips of the roots, you can discard those. And you just want to take them and cut . Once you realize that you've gotten to mostly green, you want to take them and just try to bunch them together as best as you can. And once you take them and bunch them together, you just want to get these chopped as well. Try not to cut your fingers because it happens. It's not the end of the world if it happens, but just know it's probably going to hurt. Got some garlic here. You want to just take the garlic and give it a nice slice. If you can't slice garlic as well, you're always free to just smash it. You leave it whole. Either way, it kind of works. It's really a matter of how much flavor you want in it. Cut that out. And to prevent touching all the seeds and all that as much as possible, cut it in half, so that the inside is now exposed to you. From here, you want to kind of just take a knife and get everything out, because the minute you start touching the inside of it, you're prone to being very upset later when you accidentally touch your face or something. Alright, we got all the seeds and stuff out. And any seeds get on the cutting board, make sure they don't get into the food. Unless you want extra spice, you can then do that. Flip them over so that the outside is exposed, and you just want to cut them in half again and cut them down. Because remember, all these ingredients are just getting put into the blender or food processor to make our paste. Now we're going to add our spices to our blend marinade for the chicken. You need about a teaspoon of salt. Once you get your teaspoon of salt, you need about another teaspoon of pepper. And then from this point on, everything else you add will be a tablespoon. So have your allspice, it's a tablespoon. Have your nutmeg. Sometimes spices get a little dried out. It takes a while for them to come out. Got your nutmeg. Got your Chinese 5 spice, which is very, very good for things like this. I would suggest when using things like this though, take the lid off of your spice and just kind of free pour it because it's easier. And last thing we have is some herbs, some dried herbs. After we add all that, we're gonna add in our wet ingredients. Alright, and now you want to add in the rest of your ingredients, including your vegetables. So just going to take a shot of soy, drop that in there. Soy sauce kind of gives it more flavor because it adds in the adds a little more saltiness to it. And you want to add in all of your vegetables. Once your vegetables are added in, don't add your oil in yet. Give this a few presses. So you want to make sure this is locked, and you just want to right now, the end of this process, which you should have something that looks a little like this. It's very thick. It's very thick, and you can see some of the clumps are still in there, but those are like, you know, those will add to texture and all that. But this is kind of how you want it to look. Alright guys, now that we're done with our marinade process, we're going to work on our chicken. We're going to clean it up a little bit, remove some fat. Once we remove the fat, we're going to just, you know, separate the thigh from the leg. And then once we do that, we're going to give it a quick, you know, wash. Make sure there's no gook underneath the skin and all that. And then once we do that, we'll go on to the cooking process. Got our quarter right here. You want to just take it, remove that fat right there, remove as much of the fat as you can. Try not to mess with the skin too much because you're going to want to leave that on. But you know, this piece right here doesn't have much fat. Now, quick tip for most, if you can see right here, there's a thin line of fat between the thigh and the leg. You want to kind of just cut on that fat, and cutting on that fat will give you a clean separation of the two. We got one more, I'll show you guys again. Take it, remove as much fat as possible. This. You know, if you're a little reckless like me, you'll just take it, go like that, cut that all off. You'll just be left with meat, little cartilage you can get rid of. You want to find that fat line between the leg and the thigh and cut right on it. Sometimes you could go a little too far. If you have a knife like this, I suggest you just cut right through the bone. If you don't and you have to maneuver your way around the joint, you could do that too. But here are our 4 pieces. Nice and done for you. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean them up.
And she don't like the way you fuck. And boy, I know I'm kinda chuffed. But in the pussy, I be running. Run it up, give me that. I need the money like stat. Boy, you will see you a drag. Lose that little nigga whack. Come to the back of the crib, but they be throwing the pack. Shorty can't handle a weed. Somebody call her a cab. Who you know with the flows, hella cold. When we walk in the show, grab your coat. All these bitches, all these hoes wanna know if my dick will leave a hole in the soul. I can't hang with you no more. Yeah, you ain't doing you a slow po. Yeah, I don't fall, I'm a slow bro. Yeah, king of the niggas tryna go bro. Yeah.
You suck a nigga. Go around and suck a nigga. I don't care about your color, you just suck a nigga, bitch. I'm the nigga, put the nigga in the chokehold.
Now that all your chicken is crisped up a little bit, you want to just take your leftover marinade and pour it over the top. Most people don't suggest this because it is raw, going on partially cooked, but it's all going to be cooked once I put it in the oven. So you're just going to take it and try to mist the chicken if you can. Throw it on the sides, whatever. This will act as a sauce for your chicken. Foil. Cover it as tightly as you can. Now I'm going to take this, throw it in the oven. Make sure it's best to use a cast iron skillet, but if you don't have one, any pan works. I'm just going to toss that in the oven for about another 30 to 40 minutes, and after 30-40 minutes, the chicken should be done. Alright, now we're going to take our chicken out the oven should be done. Make sure you use a rag or something like that to get your chicken out, because the pan will be hot. One quick thing I want to show you guys though is, you take a look at the sauce here. It has kind of thickened up. You could always use this on top of your rice. We're gonna actually take this and throw it on our chicken. So now you open the close and you just want to plate your chicken. Just try to make it look as good as you can. And now what you want to do with that leftover sauce, I'm gonna just take it and pour it right over the top here. You could pour it, you could do just what I'm doing. Either way works. Just want to get a little on each piece. Here we have the wonderful Reg Mason and his wonderful girlfriend, Sue. They will be my taste testers for the day. Let's see what they think. Now, Reg, you know, you're gonna get that piece. You don't gotta eat all of it. Yes. Yep, she wants the leg. Now you guys can go ahead and try it out.
Alright.
Tell me what you think.
It's very tender. I like it. It's delicious.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Another successful dish on Sean's Mix. Meet us back here next week for another dish.
Man, all that, man. The work speaks for itself, man. 5 times on the billboard, 6 times on the billboard, 7 times on the billboard. The chicken don't stop, man. The chicken don't stop. It's chicken time, man.
My niggas pansexual, we don't care what you packing. I got the village hungry, they're searching for my clout. I got the money coming, I'm broke as